If you have adrenal fatigue, you can feel really fatigued all the time because it does come with a fatigue in the name, but you also feel very hyper. You feel restless. You feel anxious. So this is a very obvious imbalance. Like one is deficient, one is hyperactive. Adrenal fatigue is very common. Nowadays, it's basically half of the population, I would say, have adrenal fatigue. Why? Because it's a stressful society. It's a competitive, stressful society that everybody needs to stand out. Everybody needs to keep learning, keep changing, innovating. Not that it's bad, but it comes with a price. The term of adrenal fatigue, and how do we translate into Chinese medicine? It's a kidney qi deficiency with hyperactivity of yang. Why is that? If you have adrenal fatigue, you can feel really fatigued all the time because it does come with a fatigue in the name, but you also feel very hyper. You feel restless. You feel anxious. So this is a very obvious imbalance. Like one is deficient, one is hyperactive. And then our body doesn't like that because the body likes a good balance. Adrenal fatigue feels like a pendulum that goes way too extreme on the two ends. But our body doesn't like that. So a lot of time that with adrenal fatigue, even if you want to rest, you feel restless. And even if you do rest, you feel that the rest is not enough. The adrenal fatigue comes from the stress response, especially chronic stress response. So initially, our body would just keep making the adrenaline to combat the stress. And so in the ancient time, let's say a tiger chasing you, it's invisible. But once it turned into chronic, our body would have the cortisol to take over. And then after a while, even though the stress is still there, your body is like, I cannot catch up. So it will try to repair it. But the stress factor is still there so that you feel stressed, whether it's from work or right now, because nowadays the stress is more invisible. You don't have a tiger chasing after you, but you have your deadline, you have your bills, you have your life goal that you need to fulfill. And that could be stress. At the second stage of stress response that lead to adrenal fatigue, your body is trying to repair, and that costs energy. But you don't have enough energy, so that's why you feel tired. But it's trying to say, hey, I need to repair, so that's calm down. But you can't because the stress factor is still there. So at the third stage, that's when everything's starting to be crashing down. That's when the adrenal fatigue starts. At the very end of stress response, that everything can die. That leads to, let's say, hypothyroidism. That leads to autoimmune, and that leads to even cancer. If you have any symptom like this, you need to suspect that if you have adrenal fatigue, and it will be best to talk to somebody about it and find a solution. So first of all, you start to see that you're waking up a lot in the middle of the night. That is because there is a spike of cortisol at night. The reason why you have the spike of cortisol is because your body is trying to pump in a lot of adrenaline in the daytime, but at the end of the day, it's like the adrenaline is starting to give up, but they still feel the stress. There's a midnight spike of the cortisol. But you also feel that, okay, once you wake up in the middle of the night, you will start to feel that in the morning when you wake up, you have the brain fog, you feel fatigue, it's hard for you to start the day. That is also part 2 of the adrenal fatigue. That's because there's a dip of the cortisol. And in the middle of the day, you have the fatigue carry out in the middle of the day. But later in the evening, you have another spike because your body is like, I still need to get the day. Your body acts in a very weird way that it's tired when it's not supposed to, it's energetic when it's not supposed to. So the rhythm is totally disrupted. This is a very specific sign of adrenal fatigue, or in Chinese medicine, kidney qi deficiency with hyperactive yang. If you like this video, please subscribe and follow me, and I'll see you soon.